Hello all, John here with some thoughts for the 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Welcome, thank you, and on baseball caps, circumcisions, and love. 3 years ago, mid-June, I had not planned on going to Sunday Mass at Our Lady of the Holy Rosary, this beautiful old cathedral up in Vancouver. My wife and I had planned to be home from our Alaskan cruise by then, and a couple days in Vancouver, and we were going to go to Sunday Mass at our home parish in Chicago. But to poorly paraphrase John Denver, it's a long way from British Columbia to Chi-Town, especially if you test positive for COVID 2 days before the flight. Not me, Gail. We had a nice time on the cruise with family and a nice first day in Vancouver, but second day in, Gail started showing symptoms, general tiredness, some congestion, and low-grade fever. We had some COVID tests on hand, so we took them. I tested negative, but she showed those 2 stripes at the bottom before her 15 minutes were up. Her general symptom was just tiredness, malaise, and so it kept her in bed pretty much for 5 days. As such, I went by myself to Mass that day. It was Sunday, June the 19th. Few things of note. The collection was pretty typical, with the basket going back and forth. I did not expect to see a guy with a jacket saying security written across the back accompany the final collection up to the altar to give to one of the servers up there. There's probably a backstory somewhere, don't know what it is. I also did not expect the communion rail at this old church to come into play the way it did at the distribution of the Eucharist, but it came way into play. But I'm a pre-Vatican II altar boy, so I knew that drill. And the last thing of note was I got there a few minutes early and I sat in one of the back pews, and a Catholic thing, and this young man comes in a minute or 2 later, and he's carrying a young child, I believe to be his son, and a woman comes in with him, I believe to be his wife and 2 other family members, and only then did I remember, I should say, that, hey, geez, it's Father's Day. I remember thinking what a nice family this guy has. I also noticed he was wearing a baseball cap, even though I didn't think twice about it, at least not until the usher comes, and just before Mass starts, he taps the guy on the shoulder and motions to the hat. And the family guy acknowledges this and removes the headgear. And that's fine, but in that moment, I recalled something that happened to me decades prior, okay, when I was severely criticized by a Catholic friend of mine when I told her I had worn shorts to Mass that Sunday. You know, but it was crazy hot summer in Chicago, a crazy hot Sunday, and they were nice shorts, I thought, kind of like dress shorts, not cutoffs. So I said to her, geez, what did you wear to Mass today? And that's when she acknowledged that she went to the beach instead. I appreciate churchly rules, okay? And I appreciate a dress code for Mass. I guess I did not think I was violating it at the time. And beyond all that, you know, I put a lot of stock in that moment to visit with Jesus and with his Father and with the ghost in their house. And getting back to that guy with the baseball cap, the cap didn't bother me in the least. And truth be told, it probably did not even bother the usher who asked him to remove it. But rules are rules, right? Well, maybe not always, which is the Apostle Paul's point, I think, today in the epistle. Some Galatians thought that true discipleship to Jesus meant we had to follow all the old laws, circumcision for one. But boasting only of Jesus' cross, Paul says this, it's important, for neither does circumcision mean anything, nor does uncircumcision, but only a new creation. And being a new creation is to be one with Christ. Father's Day that summer, 3 years ago, was also Corpus Christi Sunday, and the priest gave this really good homily, and he made the point that while the how of Jesus' presence in the Eucharistic bread is complex, the why is simple, love. Nice, I thought, very nice. I was sad in the moment that Gail could not be with me to attend this Mass, but I was happy overall given everything. And had I been wearing a baseball cap myself that day, before the usher asked me to remove it, I may very well have doffed that cap to that good priest. Hey, thanks. Peace, John.